and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast. Will had coronavirus, and this is the show for...
Gosh dang it. You know, a moment ago we restarted. Because you said that, and then Michael just says it again, so I guess we're rolling with it now.
Who else is on the podcast this week, Michael?
We have Landon and Dave. Hello. And Nick.
Hi.
I want to point out, I am no longer...
I did say had.
Yes. I want to emphasize I am no longer contagious.
Did you have it last week?
I hope not, because I'm in the same room as you.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
We're back. Rona free.
Rona free.
Fight of my life.
We made it, guys. It was scary, but we made it.
Well, you still haven't gotten it, though, right, Michael? So you can get it at some point still.
I'm immune.
Yeah.
I'm the Ellie of the group. Last of Us reference.
Yeah, let's take you across America.
Yeah.
Get you,
We're pretty close to Seattle.
Oh, no.
Although I don't really want to go to Seattle.
yeah, no.
It is August 8th, 2020. How's everybody now that we're over Corona?
I'm fine, I guess.
Way better. I've noticed I have certain superpowers now that I've came back from Rona.
Does stuff shoot out your eyes?
I can fly
Yeah.
like a bat.
That's cool.
Can you teleport?
Yes, but I don't really have that power. Like, it's not reliable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I teleport somewhere and I'll go to a different place entirely. So
I feel like I always see those, like the Reddit threads where they talk about if you could have a superpower, but it was almost a useless superpower, what would it be? I feel like I've seen it before where people say, "Oh, you can teleport, but you can only teleport 2 or 3 feet away." It would have its uses at times, but for the most part,
but
it
what
would
if
be
you could
fairly
do it like
useless.
really fast? Then it'd be like, yeah, you'd be like going
horrifying if someone
like 10
flying
frames a
towards
second.
someone.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, like
you'd go fast.
Think about running. Like running is made. You can go so much like faster. Like just boom, 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 boom.
Would teleporting exert energy from you? Would it be hard to do, or would it be almost just thinking?
I think it'd probably be thinking. It'd be mental exercise, so it'd probably be tiring.
So would
after
you
a
even
while.
walk anywhere if you could teleport? If you could teleport, would you spend any of your time walking, or would you basically
I
just
think I would.
Of course you would.
to blend in with the common man?
Yeah, I'd want to. Yeah,
I would
yeah.
never walk again if I could teleport 2 feet at a time.
Well, I think.
Well, I'm
I'd
saying
run
if you could
and
teleport,
at the same time.
hundreds of feet or hundreds of miles, still, would you be walking around at all, or would you just always be teleporting?
I would always be teleporting.
I'd-
You have to go to the bathroom. You're sitting on the couch. Do you just teleport to the pot?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it depends on how much
Absolutely.
mental energy. It just depends on how much mental energy it takes to actually use
The
your
same amount as
superpower.
walking.
Well, we don't know that.
Yes, we do.
We're saying hypothetically.
This is all.
Hypothetically.
You would probably like get so out of shape if you were just teleporting everywhere because you'd be burning almost no calories.
So nothing would really change for me.
Self-deprecating jokes are now.
I think teleporting would be an awesome power, though, to travel anywhere in the world or even the galaxy. That would be pretty cool.
Would you do this where you could teleport? You could teleport anywhere. Forget about the 2 feet rule.
Uh-huh.
Would you? I guess even with a 2 feet rule, it could work. But if you could teleport anywhere, would you teleport like 30,000 feet in the air and then like skydive, and before you hit the ground, you teleport again?
Yeah, of course. Of course I would do that.
It's like in the video game Portal where you like shoot one.
Do you
below
retain
shoot
do you
one above
retain
you.
your
I was gonna say,
momentum,
you
though?
retain your momentum, because if you do that, you're kind of screwed then. Because you can't just teleport to the ground and then splat.
You just forever have to keep teleporting.
Like, I'm so cool, I can do this.
I guess.
I guess you have to like try to teleport upwards, like
How horrifying!
What do you mean?
slowly,
How would you
like-
teleport up? You don't teleport. You're teleporting to a place.
Right.
Yeah, you
direction.
teleport above you.
No, but you still fall
But
down.
then you're still
Gravity
falling
laws of-
down.
Oh yeah, right.
How Michael's like, if I ignore the laws of physics.
How horrifying would it be for the police that show up if you teleported 30,000 feet in the air and you explode on the ground, like the crime scene? They're like, this guy fell from 30,000 feet. There was no airplanes in the sky. There's no helicopter. No, like, how did this happen?
It would just forever be a mystery, right?
An angel fell from heaven.
I guess you have to like teleport in space.
But
And then
but
die.
no, in
No, you'd
space
still be
you're gonna
going.
keep moving, and there's no resistance, so you're just gonna.
Man, that makes it even worse. Yeah, there's no getting out. Okay, don't do this.
How
You gotta
about
be very
teleporting
careful.
If
underwater?
any of you out there can teleport, don't.
No, you would
teleport
still die if you
30,000
teleported
feet in the air.
underwater.
Don't do it.
But wouldn't your momentum be? Oh yeah, you'd still die.
You would die probably instantly, because if you're falling at
I
terminal
just come up
velocity,
with like
and
the
then you're
worst
instantly
thing
in
to do
water.
with a superpower?
All of your internal organs would probably rupture or something.
Oh
right?
no, stop.
I'm trying to think of a
How
place
would-
to teleport that'd be safe.
I don't
Would
think
you
there
have to-
is. I don't.
Would you have to have been to a place
A
before to
trampoline
teleport
factory.
there?
What did you ask, Landon?
Would you have to like? How do you decide how you're going to teleport to a certain place? It's like I want to teleport to this place in China, but if you've never been there, like how would you know? Like exactly?
I see the movie Jumper.
No.
I think
Christensen.
Yeah, great movie, great actor. That movie, I think, look, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, but I think what they had to do was they had to have a picture of where they wanted to go.
Oh, okay.
And so in his apartment, he had like tons of pictures everywhere, and he could like look at it and be like, "Okay, I'm going there," and he would jump there.
Interesting. So it's
okay.
kind of like Nightshade, I think.
No,
is what-
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
Nightcrawler, I think he has to
Nightcrawler,
see
he had to-
where he's teleporting to,
Okay.
right?
So you don't have
That's
to
at least
see,
what
you
it
just
is.
have to
In,
know where
that's
you-
at least what it is in X2. I don't know if that's something that they pulled over from the comics.
I
Because
think
later in that movie, he's able to teleport through a
Okay.
wall.
I think that because it's such a crazy power anyway and not real, I think you should just be able to teleport wherever. Kind of just, I want to be somewhere in New Zealand and I'm there. You know what I mean? I picture Wellington
Let's not be crazy.
and
That's just
I'm
not possible.
Yeah. Keep it real.
I'm not gonna,
saying.
I don't want to restrict it that much to think, oh, it's either someplace I have to exactly know what it's like or see what, because what if you're looking at a picture of something, but then, there's someone in that space and do you teleport into
you
the
explode
person? Yeah. Do you explode yourself and them?
Or if you teleport like into a wall, like in like the middle of a wall.
I think that happens in X2, right?
Does it? I can't
I think-
remember.
Yeah. Isn't that what happens to Nightcrawler? Is that he teleports into a wall and he's trying to get out of it? And that's how he expands his powers, where he's able to teleport outside. I think I don't remember. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but
I can't remember that movie at all.
Are you talking about X-Men 2? Where
yeah,
He said he there's a quote where he's like, I need to look where I'm going, otherwise I could teleport into a wall. He never actually does it.
Oh, I thought he did.
No.
Is Nightcrawler a bad guy or a good guy?
No, he's good.
Good guy.
I can't.
Well,
He's mind controlled
he was
in the
mind
beginning of the
controlled.
movie.
Your mom probably told you he was a bad guy because he looks like a devil, but he was a good guy.
But he's blue.
Uh-oh. Picking out some bad memories from Leo's childhood trauma.
No, I think I watched all the X-Men movies with my mom. I think that was something we watched like
She let
later.
you watch those?
That would
We
surprise
watched them
me.
together later. Like when I was like 14 or 15, I was allowed to watch them. I think.
Because X-Men is pretty heavy on the evolution, kind of. Because basically the whole premise is that they're just evolved
humans evolve.
more
Yeah.
than
I think
Also, the
so-
tolerance. X-Men's all about tolerance, right? Was that something that she wanted to pass on, or?
Dude, stop. Stop.
Man, now I'm starting to feel bad for like bullying Landon about his childhood.
I think my parents are more progressive than yours, so take that.
Well, that's probably true because I don't think mine listen to the podcast. So I don't know what I can.
Now you're going to get a text in 3 days from dad and mom going, I do listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Get ready for another 3-hour conversation on the phone, Dave. Have fun.
So teleporting. That's a cool power too. What other cool superpowers would you guys like to have if you could have superpowers, friends?
I think my favorite would be like to stop time. Like to be able to just like pause everything going around. Because
You
like,
could also arguably say that's like super speed.
yeah, I think I guess so. But I
You
think
could
just
learn
really, like,
so much. If I could pause time, I would be the smartest person on the planet.
Would you
'cause I would,
still age, though?
Yep.
I think you still age when you pause time, though.
Don't
Is
you
that the
age
downside?
faster?
I think you just age at the same.
I thought you age faster if you go faster. Or no, you
the
Wait.
Are you talking about relativity? Relativity?
yeah, you age faster.
dude, I don't believe in science. Like, what are you talking about?
Science isn't real. You're not real.
Everybody wants to fly, right? Like that's a
Oh
power
yeah,
that-
I would if I could
Oh yeah, I
fly.
think so, too.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be cool.
I'll take any superpower really.
I just want to be more than normal. Like,
Are you?
I'm just thinking like flying. You like grab someone that can't fly, and you just fly like 40 feet, and let go. You're like
And then they teleport, and then they're stuck in a teleporting well forever.
I'd be Homelander.
Oh my gosh.
Just gonna fly to the nearest airplane.
Yeah, let's go, boys. Just rip the door off.
Season 2 is coming out really soon. I'm excited.
man, if only I had Amazon Prime.
Dude, okay.
Season 2 of The Boys.
Yeah, the boys.
Yeah. Reaches in his fishbowl.
I mean, Homelander is basically just Superman, right? I mean, just as good.
He's more like Ultraman than Superman, because Ultraman is he's a baddie.
What? Homelander bad? What are you talking about?
Dude, he's a
greater good.
one of the 7.
Yeah, he works for that big corporation that's trying to make everything good for the rest of humanity.
What's the organization? Voltac? Is it Voltac?
Something like that.
All the 7 are great.
Well, okay, so I've been watching HBO's Watchmen right now.
Oh, great show.
And it's similar in a way where it's kind of a satire of superhero, it's the superhero genre. And watching this makes me much more, even more excited for The Boys season 2.
How do you like Watchmen?
Oh, I really like it. It's made me want to go back and read the book again. I think I texted that to you that it made me really want to read the book, because it was one of those things that I don't know if it was an impressionable time of my childhood or something when I read it, but it was one of those things that you read and your response is wow, this is so different than anything I've ever experienced before. And it's not like at least a lot of other comics that had come out before it, because it was just so different and it wasn't
pretty edgy for its time.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those franchises that has just as toxic of a fan base as every other cool franchise. So that's one thing that kind of is a bummer. The thing that I like actually about the show is they kind of play off of that with the Cavalry and how they basically are emulating Rorschach. Because in the story, Rorschach is kind of a cool character, but people who really like Rorschach are kind of cringy.
They ruin Rorschach.
And I'm saying that as someone that went as Rorschach for Halloween one year, so
Cool. My favorite character in the Watchmen show is Looking Glass, I think.
Yeah, by Tim Blake Nelson. Whatever.
His character is my favorite. He's somewhat of a Rorschach type.
He's very he's kind of in that same vein. Has sort of the same kind of outlook on life. He's much more human than many of the other people, and he's a relatable character. Has kind of a tragic story with how with his origin kind of being present for the 1985 thing. So, but if you haven't read Watchmen, I would recommend it. It's I think 12 issues. It's 12 issues of a comic that they put together as a graphic novel. And if you haven't read it before, I would highly recommend it. It's a very good read. I would recommend doing that before you watch the show, because I think it's much easier to appreciate. I appreciate the show a lot because I understand kind of some of the characters and stuff. Bree has actually been watching the show with me. She's someone that doesn't know anything about Watchmen, so kind of during some of the stuff. No, she really likes it. She's been kind of saying, "Oh, let's watch the next episode. Let's watch the next one." But I don't want it to burn through it too fast. But we have one left because we've kind of burned through it really fast. So yeah, there's only 9 episodes, but everything with Dr. Manhattan kind of was making me think about all the teleportation and everything.
Or Dr. Manhattan. What's the other guy? Ozymandias or whatever.
Ozymandias, yeah.
Dude, his character in the show also.
He's played by Jeremy Irons, right?
Yeah.
His segment are so good.
He was I think he was a really good casting for Ozymandias too. As being the smartest man and kind of being this eccentric older character, because it's him, decades later. No, he does not. Why would he do that? What if all actors did? They just referenced every other character they've ever played in each subsequent movie they make. How awful would that be?
My brother, I need to kill him.
Mufasa.
Be prepared.
But the show is very interesting. I'm going to go back and read the book again, and I'll probably watch the movie too. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I've only seen the movie and watched the show. I haven't read the.
I haven't seen the movie. I haven't watched the show, and I haven't read the book. So
Will, you should read the book. You should get it from the library or something, or get it from Amazon.
I might just
it's
buy it from Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble.
You're gonna pay like $20 extra.
I have a membership there, so I get some discounts.
Chum.
I've never felt cooler in my life saying that.
I don't know. That's the emotion you should be feeling right now. Maybe shame.
Shame?
Sadness.
No. I'm cool.
Do you have to pay dues to be a member of Barnes and Noble, or is it just something you just get infinite emails for, and that's the price that you have to pay?
I just paid a fee, and I actually didn't mean to. So I accidentally.
Like, so you're an
did it.
accidental
Yes.
member of Barnes and Noble.
Yeah.
You're trying to buy a calendar there for your dad for Christmas one year. You accidentally signed the wrong
calendar?
thing.
And the pretty girl at the counter was like, "Hey, you want to sign this?" Was like, "Yes, please, yeah."
Well,
10-year membership.
One-time fee of $200.
she said, "Do you want to sign up for a membership? You can save X amount of money." And I thought she meant you can save X amount of money on the book if you sign up with a membership now. And I didn't know the membership had a cost, and I was too
Infatuated with her.
No. I was too scared to just be like, "Oh, just cancel
Scared?
that."
You're scared.
I was just too I felt bad, and I just didn't want to not cancel it. So I
That's
guess
someone like you feeling bad.
What do you mean? Couldn't you cancel it at a different time?
I mean, yeah, but I didn't.
Once
know
you pay for it, you
anything
can
about
never cancel
He
it.
always just thinks
You
about the
can
girl's
never
face, and he's like, "Oh, if I cancel it, she'll
Well,
get
I paid a
fired."
one-time thing, so I haven't gotten any charges leading up to it. So I don't know how long I paid for it. I don't know if I just paid for it once and I'm in forever. It doesn't sound correct.
I'm saying it's probably 10-year deal right there.
10-year contract with Barnes and
Yeah.
Noble as my personal sponsor.
You probably own part of the company now.
Really?
Dude, your
Wow.
stocks
It just
have
bought
probably
stock.
dropped.
That's what it is.
I get 5% of the company.
I mean, Barnes and Noble's on borrowed time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to go the way of Borders in probably next few years, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
I miss Borders. Do you guys miss Borders?
No.
Not really.
I love Borders books. It was such a
owned
fun
by-
place to go.
It was owned by J.K. Rowling, right?
What?
It was owned by J.K. Rowling, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know, Borders.
Borders books?
Yeah, I think so. J.K. Rowling had a big part in it, I thought.
Yeah, she
I
sold her
don't know.
books.
No, I thought she
Maybe
actually
she
like
maybe
had a
she
part-
did. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
We'll
I'll
confirm
just-
this later.
Well, I'll just go. Nope. Let's just have blind faith here. Will, you're right.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Thanks. Some blind faith. I love some blind faith.
Gosh. Good fact, Will.
Oh, thank you.
It's a fun fact for the show.
Fun fact for the
Our
show.
fun fact of the day. Our one fun
J.K.
fact.
Rowling owned Borders.
Unconfirmed, if true or not.
She single-handedly drove it into the ground.
Yeah, so is she the one that brought it down from the inside?
Yeah, she was unhappy with the portrayal of. Never mind. That's getting too real world.
Let's go back to teleporting.
Are you talking about the tweets, her tweets from a couple months ago?
Yeah. There's some controversy around her about her view of transgender people, and
Yeah, she kind of got pounced on.
yeah, and a
I
lot
don't
of
think she
people
gives a
are upset
crap
at
though.
her.
She has so much money, you can't.
She's a
cancel.
billionaire, isn't she?
Yeah,
she is,
pretty
yeah.
much. Yeah,
multi, I think.
Multi-billionaire?
and
And she couldn't save Borders?
I think.
Well, now I
there was,
really hate J.K. Rowling.
I think there was people at the publishing houses that weren't happy with that. Were like, oh, we don't really want to work with her because what she said. And, the publishing houses were like, yeah, well, if you don't like it, quit. Because J.K. Rowling's worth too much.
Is she even writing much right now?
I think she is right now. I think she's writing a new series. Or
I think
something.
she's writing the
movies,
the scripts for the movies,
which I'm
which
so
are
mad at.
terrible now.
They're making more.
I just want
they're
her to
making
make
more?
a new book series
I
in
think
the same universe as Harry
I think
Potter.
this shows that writing a book,
Harry Potter.
screenplay is very different.
Yeah.
Because her books are great. They're really really fun to read, and
Harry
they're
Potter's
good.
evil though.
But the
From the devil. Don't land
And
The
the childhood
scripts-
strikes once again.
the
Harry
scripts
Potter,
that,
he's-
the scripts
and
that
it's
she's
analogy-
written are. I don't know if you guys have seen the new movies, but they're awful.
I saw the first one.
I saw the first one. I
It was okay. It was okay. It didn't leave me wanting another one.
It was decent. There was some fun twists, but it was oh, I guess that's how it is.
Yeah.
The Crimes of Grindelwald or whatever was the second one.
The second one was the
Yeah.
Crimes of Grindelwald.
Such
Does
a
the
Johnny
second
Depp.
movie have the chubby guy in it? Because he was my favorite
Yeah.
character in
He's
the.
back. He's
Aw,
back.
yeah.
better than ever.
Even though it doesn't make any sense.
It also doesn't really make any sense how they can teleport to Hogwarts. People are really upset.
Can they
about
teleport 2 feet in front of themselves, or is it 30,000 feet in the air?
Have they? Do they need to have been there before?
They look at a picture and then they teleport.
that. Enjoy it, yeah.
What did you buy? Okay, so we should probably talk about the explosion that happened in Beirut just a couple days ago. Pretty terrible. I don't know if you guys had seen the videos that have been posted about it, because it was caught on camera, and it was just
It was horrifying.
really terrifying. I mean, it looked like something out of a nuclear movie.
It looked like
Yeah.
In the city.
I mean, it looks like a mini nuke.
I would highly recommend looking up the videos and looking up a lot of things that are related to it to try to and just
apparently like
kinda see.
windows were like exploding. Out of
Giant
houses.
shockwave. I mean, it almost made like a mushroom cloud.
There was a view that I saw from the water.
Yeah,
the water,
that is
yeah.
just like just everything gets messed up.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
They said that the size of the explosion was 1/5 the size that was dropped on
On
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it was all the
It's,
megatons of that stuff stored at the port.
Ammonium nitrate.
Why was it there?
Well, so I guess like 6 years ago, they confiscated, was it 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, and it was stored unsafely in this warehouse.
Oh my gosh.
And it had just been sitting there for like the past 6 years. And I think, I'm not sure if it's clear or not, but I think it was like next to or near
A bunch
some,
of
like
fireworks.
factory.
Oh, okay.
And
It's like putting oil in like a fire, like right next to each other, being like, "Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen."
and it's expected that that it was caused by a welder who was doing repair work near there, and it was just a spark from his welding torch that
Hit the.
just cascaded into
Oh gosh, that's
1/5
horrible.
the size of a nuclear bomb. Can you imagine, like, you're just doing your normal day job and like a little spark goes off and you set off something that's 1/5 the size of a nuclear blast?
Well, and who's
No.
was the,
I can't imagine that.
the weight of that.
I worked for an insurance company.
the guy probably didn't survive, right? Or did he live? Because if you're that close,
I'm not sure. I mean,
It wasn't instantaneous. I mean, there was.
It said that over 100 people died, and I think that they're still finding more. I don't know how quick everything happened. I think it happened relatively quick, but
Well, you see it first in the videos, like you hear crackling and smoke going
and
off.
you hear fire first. Sorry, not fire. You hear like, gosh dang it, you hear explosions and I don't know, not even explosions. You hear something first.
It's the fireworks. It's
fireworks,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fire. You're right, Will.
you see and hear like pops and stuff from like fireworks.
Then you see the big explosion. So there's probably some amount of time. You're right before.
Yeah, but
everything-
there was not a lot between seeing the fireworks starting going off and then the big explosion. It was not long.
It was probably like 10 seconds from the fireworks to the giant explosion.
But the videos are horrifying. I mean, the people that you see that were live streaming that you think there's no way this person lived as they were live streaming this because it was horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying.
Over 3,000 injured. It said that it was 5 billion pounds of damages.
Yeah, 300,000 people are homeless now.
Yeah.
From what I heard.
Well, the after pictures are horrifying if you see the aerial photography shots.
Yeah, because it happened at a port, and the before pictures it just looks like a normal like dock and port area, and then after it looks just like
Looks like a war zone.
a
basically.
nuclear blast went off.
Yeah.
Like a huge crater, and just.
I mean,
tons
it
of
levels
damage.
that one building that's right next to it. That
Yeah.
one, but it's just
Well, there's the grain silo that's right there that was right next to it.
Yeah, the
That-
grain silo was just completely destroyed.
obliterated.
Yeah.
So whose fault is this? Would this be the government's fault for storing?
Yeah,
You would think
Yeah.
that they would have
probably
to, but I mean,
whoever.
storing unsafe, highly explosive material. Like that's
next to a firework factory.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you've seen the pictures, it's right inside the doors. So it was just you can open the door and you're seeing hundreds of tons of explosives right there. That's just crazy.
To think like that government is incompetent as that to just put explosely in the middle of.
You should watch HBO's Chernobyl.
No.
Watch another horrifying incident that
Disaster.
could have been completely avoided,
Yeah.
and that killed I think tens of thousands of people.
50,000 people
still
used to
like
live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Okay. no one's gonna get that.
I think I got it right. Isn't it?
It's Modern Warfare. First Modern Warfare. OG Modern Warfare, 2007.
Yeah. Anyway, it's really horrible. I mean, just to add on to 2020 for how terrible this year has been, it's sad. It's really kind of depressing. So
Bad.
We
year.
have a pandemic and an explosion that injures thousands and kills hundreds. So,
Yeah.
and that's just the tip of the iceberg, probably.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? What's going to happen
coming up
at the end of August then?
Oh gosh,
Mm.
I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to think about it. Anyway, I think I
Football's
can
gonna get
speak for all of
canceled.
us saying that our thoughts and prayers are with that country
Football's
because
canceled?
yeah,
That'll be the
that's
worst
pretty
thing
horrible. I mean, that's
Absolutely, yeah. In such a big city too.
because I think the explosion took out like a lot of their food reserves too.
Oh,
Yeah, the grain silo had, I think what I had read was about 85% of their grain for either the area or the country or something.
Yeah,
I wonder if there's going to be an argument if we should provide foreign aid or not. That'll be interesting to watch, the political aspect of it.
I think a lot
Yeah.
of countries have already started doing that too.
doing foreign aid.
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess the blast itself too registered as like a 4.8 on the Richter scale, and
That's insane.
the boom of the explosion was heard in Cyprus, which is like 100 miles away.
150 miles
Yeah.
away, right? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how loud that was then? I mean, you hear it in the video, but I think people said like windows were exploding like
Yep.
20 miles
I mean, you could
away.
like literally see like the shockwave moving,
Yeah.
and like ripping up
On the water
buildings,
too.
on
like,
the water.
Yeah, that was the craziest part is that you just see this go, and then just
Yeah.
the camera topples over.
What's amazing to me is that the loss of life at least hasn't been reported as that large.
That's what I couldn't believe.
With what from the pictures I've seen, even where you see the port destroyed, my thought is, well, there at least had to be thousands of people in that vicinity working, and I don't know how anyone would survive that level of an explosion that close to it. And then you see cars and buses and buildings on fire, and you know it's
But then people just getting out of the cars too. Like I was very surprised at the video as there's like the car was completely demolished, but there was somebody in there just walking out really injured, but they were alive, and it's just really thankful for that.
it makes you think about other big bombs. It makes you think about Hiroshima and Nagasaki and being like, can you
Right,
imagine
yeah.
how horrifying that would have been to be there and experience that? And that was nuclear, so there was fallout you had to deal with where you don't have that here. It's just horrifying to think about.
How many people, not to get too grim with it, like Hiroshima, how many people died?
I think it was 80,000 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the final figure or if that was the initial. I mean, the lasting effects were longer and affected a lot more people due to the fallout and the radiation and stuff. But I think it's somewhere around 80 or 70 to 90,000, something like that. I mean, a lot of people.
Insane.
80,000 people just because like
Yeah. That's just Sad Keys podcast now.
man, like
Sad keys.
I don't know anymore, man. Like it feels like
What
like,
you
looking
getting at, Will?
back, looking back on like World War II, like I can't say one like essentially what I'm trying to say is without being
You unpatriotic
too
piece of scum.
no.
Do you hate America?
Actually, I'm probably one of the unpatriotic people I know. It just sucks that there was a situation where we felt like we had to kill 80,000 people in a country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I think war is terrible, and
Yeah.
if it can be avoided, then it should. But you could argue that World War II was a war that should have been fought and needed to be fought.
Oh yeah.
If you look at World War One, that's like that was a bad war. Like that one could have been avoided and everything.
Right.
But
And
World War Two,
I
I think was one that was necessary to fight for.
I don't disagree with you at all, but it just sucks that it had to be fought.
I mean,
in the
yeah,
first place.
it's terrible that it came to that point where nuclear bombs were being dropped.
I was.
It makes you wonder what war is going like a massive scale war is
Stop.
going to look like now.
Stop.
Like
And not to get too political here, but
Oh
it
my
does.
God.
It does is it makes you realize the importance of who is in power, and the problem is in 1945, the Japanese had a chance to surrender
before that.
but they did not. They did not.
And they didn't surrender after
The first one.
initially after the first
they didn't
one.
surrender after the first one. They did after the second one.
I mean,
And
we
if-
gave them, like, 2
and
days,
they,
right?
the people who were in power,
I mean,
in
you could give me a minute after something like that happens and I'm surrendered.
people who were in power in Japan at the time, if they had realized, I mean, maybe the gravity of that the mainland of Japan was either going to be invaded or there was going to be heavy loss of life elsewhere, that could have been avoided, and
could've
and the people who suffered weren't the people in power in Japan.
No.
It wasn't they were the ones that they finally said, okay, fine, we will surrender. But it was after 2 atomic bombs were dropped on the
Wasn't that a
on the
cultural
country.
thing at the time? Never surrendering kind of mentality that Japan had for the longest time. Like your honor, you couldn't surrender, fight to the last man.
You'd rather die than.
I mean, I want to say there were still groups
Surrender.
of Japanese soldiers that like never really surrendered. They just were like hiding on islands.
Well, there's a
and stuff.
story of this is a really interesting story, and I don't know how this hasn't been made into a movie yet.
It
And
probably
we might have
has,
talked
right?
about this before, but apparently, like there were. I can't remember. Do you remember what islands they were, Dave?
No, it was
Was it in the-
South Pacific.
I want to say South Pacific, but there was like a high-ranking officer that was still like on his like doing his like duty,
Mhm.
like serving where
He was carrying
supposed-
out his orders.
He was carrying out his orders, and he had been doing that for I don't know, like 30 or 40 years.
It was
So he-
decades.
he
It was
just
decades
living-
in
he
the
was
woods.
living in the jungle, like killing pigs and killing like people on this island, on these islands, like just basically going crazy, like still thinking there's a war, and he just would not give up his post or anything. And so finally, they had to send a.
It was a
general-
journalist.
Was it a journalist? I thought it was someone that,
it-
was his superior.
It was a well, that happened later, but it was a journalist who went in and ended up like meeting this guy and kind of getting close to him, and he was there a couple times. And
Right.
it was either his general or something that I can't remember if he had died and it was someone else, or if it was actually his commanding officer was
I think
still
it was
alive.
actually his commanding officer. So they sent this commanding officer who had been retired for decades at this point. They sent him in his military uniform to go and be like, "Hey, you're done. You can come home now."
Well, what they would do is for years they dropped leaflets. They would blast over loudspeakers saying the war is over. This is Japan has surrendered, and he was like, no, this is fake. We wouldn't surrender. We would not have surrendered. They're trying to get to me. They're trying to get me to surrender, even though Japan is still fighting. And yeah, he did this for decades. And by the time they finally got him, he was 60 or 70 or something.
Yeah, still
I wonder.
fighting the good fight.
I wonder if he looked back and wondered if he wasted his life or not.
I would have absolutely.
I probably like.
Could you
if
and
you're-
can you imagine like that's probably like what then like that happened in the like 80s, probably mid 80s, that they finally came to him and was like, "Hey,
Yeah, I don't remember.
you can
It
come
was-
home now." But
The world's a completely
imagine going
different
from
place.
the mid 40s to the 80s. Like that is a huge jump. Like he basically is a time traveler. He just did it really slow.
Okay, so he surrendered December 1974 in Indonesia.
He's an
The
Indonesian.
war ended in 45. So this was 29 years later.
How
So
old
did
was he
World
when
War
he
II
surrendered?
technically then end in 19?
How old was he when he
last
surrendered?
one.
Do you know?
I mean, he probably would have been, in his 50s or 60s because if he went in at 18 or 20 or something.
Man,
Gosh.
it makes you wonder. Like his
It was his commitment,
method of
his
thinking,
faith
his
in
commitment,
his country, his belief that it was a righteous cause and that they couldn't lose. It's just crazy to think that someone had that much determination about something that ultimately they were completely wrong about because the war had ended, 30 years earlier.
I mean, it had gone into the Vietnam War at that point.
Oh, it was past the Vietnam War. Vietnam War ended, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is, it started with him and multiple people, and he was the last one left.
Yeah.
People died along the way, and he was the only one that was left.
Dang.
That's so sad, dude.
Yeah.
Why did Japan even get involved? I'm trying to think.
Well, they got involved before. They got involved in, I think it was 1937 when they went and invaded China, and they messed up. Was it Manchuria?
I think so.
Something like that. Yeah, they were trying to expand their empire. So it was similar kind of to what Hitler was doing in a sense of expanding the empire. So it wasn't really with the in the best in the best intentions. It was to conquer. They were kind of trying to be a colonial empire like we've seen
Everybody else did.
yeah like that everyone else did in the 1400s to today.
We should try it. We should try to take Canada. Take Mexico.
Well, Watchmen told me that if we would have won the Vietnam War, that it would have become our 51st state. So there's that.
Yeah. Speaking of that, do you know in the movie, I don't know if it's the same in the book Watchmen, but in the movie The Watchmen, there is 51 stars on the flag.
I mean, that makes sense, right? One for each state.
Yeah. What? 51.
Yeah, one for each state.
Yeah.
I think we're saying the same thing. What are you?
Wait.
What?
So in the Watchmen universe, is Vietnam a 51st state?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's 51 stars.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait, is there only?
To say that there's actually 51 states? I was like, no, I know there's 50. What are you saying?
Yeah, Puerto Rico, the 51st state, right?
I was really confused.
Do you guys think Puerto Rico should be in a state?
No.
I don't really care.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the topic to really provide an opinion. Like, I wish I could know. Like,
Did you know that Puerto Rico has a larger population than I think over half of the states in the United States of America? Isn't that crazy?
Oh wow.
It's not that
yes
crazy.
and no, because some of the states are
I think
wow,
it's the
you're in
20.
the middle of nowhere.
I think it's the 29th in population.
Would it be a
29th or
red
30th.
state or a blue state? You know, I mean, yeah.
If it's blue, leave them to rot. No, just kidding.
That would be pretty crazy if
There's
they made
something
it a
nice
state.
though about 50. Like
Yeah.
that's that's the only issue I have with there becoming more states. Is 50 is such a good number. If we were to get another state, I think we'd have to combine some. Okay, Dakota's now one state again.
We can make it to 100.
We can make it to 100 states.
Well, how about we make Puerto Rico one?
We could definitely split up Alaska. I mean, that's half the size of the U.S.
But there's so few people there.
What's popular?
Maybe if we split it up, more people will go there.
More people are not going to Alaska. It's far away. It's cold. It's expensive to live there. Alaska
I'll be the
is
first person to live
not
in North
cheap.
Alaska.
I would.
Alaska would seem like a beautiful place to live, though.
I would
Yeah.
love to live in Alaska. If I wasn't married to Brianna and I could get a job in Alaska, I'd go there in a heartbeat.
All right,
Okay.
time to leave. Could you convince her to go to Alaska?
Yeah, I think she loves me enough. I could convince her to go. But I love her enough that I'm not going to subject her to that because I don't think
Would
she
you not
would.
like Alaska?
No, she doesn't like the cold at all.
It gets up to like 70 there in the summer.
For half a month.
Summer is also just 3 weeks long.
What would be awesome is how long the days are. That's what I would like.
Yeah.
Until it gets where it's dark. all day.
until it's the opposite and the nights are that long.
Yeah, I think I get super depressed. It's like, oh, I got 4 hours of daylight. What am I gonna do with it? Oh.
Do you have
And then when it gets,
seasonal?
like,
Do
-30.
you have seasonal affective disorder, Landon?
I don't think so. I think I'm just always depressed.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
So just depressive disorder.
every season.
Yeah. I
Isn't that just
think
regular depression?
no, it's seasonal.
No, because you can still blame the seasons.
Yeah, it's the season's fault.
You know-
There's different
Sounds good to
seasons.
me.
You are not thinking out of the box. You can have multiple types of depressions, Landon. You don't have to have just one.
Yeah.
Seasonal and
If
regular.
only I believed in.
The
If only I
punch.
believed in going to see a therapist.
Oh my gosh.
Do you guys think you'd be kind of sad if it was dark all the time though?
I like
Feeling-
darkness.
It would give me a reason to get night vision goggles.
Yeah, we would slowly develop dark vision from D&D, and then we'd be able to see in the dark, right? That'd be kind of cool.
You don't have to
Boo.
reference.
Boo,
D&D.
nerd.
Gotta roll a d20 though. That's the only reference I know.
I feel like Dungeons and Dragons is really boring.
Oh,
Well, you guys-
dude, come on.
did you guys
I don't
hear
think
about
you've
that?
Actually
We tried to
it.
play, and it was like, oh my god.
Did you
I'm
guys
not
hear
even
about
going to
that,
talk about Dungeons and Dragons with Landon.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to move on. Did you guys hear about that story of that kid in, I think he was from China or India, who had like night vision? Like, you know how you shine like
Oh.
light in a cat's eyes at night? It's reflective.
Mhm.
What?
This kid had that, and he could like see perfectly at night.
So is he the first
You
mutant?
did a deal with the devil for like cat eyes.
Well, just in terms of odds, like that would probably come out of China or India, right? Just because there's so many people there,
Yeah, because their combined population
Yeah.
is what?
like 3 billion.
Like a third of the world, basically?
yeah,
Or more?
anyway, that'd be cool.
If you
to
were
see
the
at
first
night.
mutant, though, I think it'd probably be bad because the rest of
Oh, yeah.
oh, you freak.
They just lynch you. Like,
Yeah, they kill you. Or they do so many tests on you that you wouldn't even be,
yeah.
you'd be crazy.
It's so funny though, like if you look at like the Marvel universe, how like glorified superheroes are, but then the mutants are like these people are freaks. Like, what's wrong with them? And they're just like ridiculed and hunted down.
Yeah.
It's like
That's what would
same.
happen.
I guess
That's what would happen,
I guess that
though.
would never make sense to me. Like if you combine Marvel MCU and like X-Men, like there's a nice divide there where it's like, okay, in my mind, in X-Men universe, the people with superpowers are really oppressed and have to hide. And in the MCU, they're worshipped as heroes.
Yeah,
and-
well,
They're normalized.
I haven't really
in
read
MCU.
X-Men comics or anything, but they do that in the comics somehow. So I wonder if they're going to implement those strategies into the movies, because they do that in the comics and it makes it work.
I wonder if they can somehow, like, because at the end, spoilers for Spider-Man: Far From Home. At the end of the movie, at the very in the ending credits, J. Jonah Jameson reveals Spider-Man, Peter Parker's real name, to the general public.
Spider-Man.
So I wonder if that's going to set in motion like something about suddenly the scripts being flipped on superheroes, that they're becoming more feared somehow.
That could be interesting, because then everybody's like after Spider-Man, who is a superpowered person.
That's
Right.
one thing I've always enjoyed about superhero stuff is the sense of an identity that is hidden from the rest of the world. And that's one thing that's kind of bummed me out actually about the MCU, because when they started with Iron Man revealing himself,
well, there's no
it kind of set
secret identities.
There's no
and-
secret identities, really. It kind of set a precedent as it's not something that's really even a factor at all. That's one thing I like about Spider-Man in particular, because they at least kind of kept with his character in the series. And it's something that I think is very integral to superheroes, about being a secret identity. Watchmen does a really good job of that, the show, because it's all about masks and what they symbolize and what they mean, what it hides and what it shows, what it reveals. And I think that's a great part of superhero stories, and it's something that the MCU doesn't really touch, and I think it's a very missed opportunity
very
for great
big, like,
stories.
It's a very big cultural part of the superhero is the dual identity thing.
Right. And that's really not present, I mean, in most of the MCU movies.
Yeah,
Right?
like Spider-Man would probably be the only one, and even then, like even before he was outed as Peter Parker, he's still like taking off his mask in front of like everybody and like, oh yeah, my name's Peter Parker. I'm Peter Parker. I'm Peter Parker.
Hi, I'm Peter Parker. Who are you?
Hey everyone.
I do like those Spider-Man movies. I think those are great movies.
Big fan. I'm Peter Parker. I mean Spider-Man. I still like the Tobey Maguire ones better. I just think
I would agree.
they're more like, to me, they're more like cinematic.
Spider-Man 3,
I knew it was
baby.
coming.
It's a
I knew it was
Spider-Man 3. It's a masterpiece, baby. Let's go.
10 out of 10.
I literally looked at Landon. He's looking at me like with his biggest grin on his face, and
What
I
a
knew
great film.
immediately.
What a great
I was going
film.
to say something.
I think they're starting to film the next Spider-Man 3.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think sequel with Andrew Garfield, right?
I'd be down. I'd be down.
Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3 2.
I liked those movies. Okay.
No.
Andrew Garfield ones?
Yeah, I
they
thought
were
fine.
garbage.
The second one is
The
one
second
of
one.
second one
the
is
second
one
one's
of the
not
worst
great.
movies I have ever seen.
Too.
Really?
Yes, the
It's
second
awful.
Amazing
You don't
Spider-Man.
like Jamie Foxx's Electro?
Gosh.
He bumped into me. He didn't care about
I'm Electro. I'm a dubstep master.
The thing is, that movie was so bad too. I have issues even remembering all of the problems that were present. I remember more my reaction after the movie more than I remember the movie itself, thinking that it was a train wreck of a story and that I couldn't believe that that's what was made. And I really have kind of put it out of my mind. It's similar to the Episode 9 Star Wars, where it was such a train wreck. What I remember more is my response to the film than the movie itself.
Dude, I remember leaving the theater and you were just quiet. You weren't like, talking to anybody.
I did not like that movie. It was a severe disappointment.
The only thing, talking about The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the only thing like remotely good that I could take away from that movie was some of the visuals with Spider-Man swinging. Like, it actually looked pretty good. Like, compared to the MCU Spider-Man, I don't know why they do this in the MCU Spider-Man movies or with Spider-Man, but they always CGI over him. Like, on set, he had, like, if he's wearing his, like fabric suit, he has an actual practical made suit. But then in the movies, they just CGI over it.
Probably just easier in the end.
It just
Probably
doesn't
less
make any
work.
sense, and it looks terrible. It looks bad, and it bugs me.
Sorry.
They do. Dave, talk to them.
Yeah, make a call.
What
Make a
am
call.
I gonna? What am I gonna
Call.
say?
Call them and say you have a film degree and
I have an undergrad film degree, and I
Fix
know
this.
everything.
My brother said no more
You
CGI.
look at the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, even the Andrew Garfield ones, like when he's just standing there talking to people. That's an actual suit. Or like if they're doing a stunt that's practical with able to have somebody on set doing the stunt, it's somebody in a suit. They don't CG over the suit.
I mean, I'm with you. I prefer
I
practical.
think you're preaching to the
over-
choir.
Yeah, I mean, because I think best comparison is Lord of the Rings versus the Hobbit.
Oh my gosh.
How great the characters and the monsters and the
like
other
practical-
creatures looked like in that trilogy.
Practical
versus-
makeup and costumes always look better than
Dude,
CGI stuff.
the lead orc villain, Hobbit looked so bad.
Was his name Azok?
I don't know.
Azok?
I only watched the first
Scar.
two parts.
The White Orc.
I don't think I ever watched the last Hobbit. There's 3 of them, right? They made 3.
Unfortunately.
I think I watched the first 2.
That movie, The Hobbit should have been at most 2 movies. There's no reason it should have been 3.
Money.
Money.
That was in a bad time for films, and they were trying to make everything like 2-part.
Ian McKellen, the actor of Gandalf, he broke down on set. He started crying because he just everything.
Because he was in the green.
dying.
He was everything around him was green.
There's a video of it where he's sitting in a green room that's like scaled down to like a Hobbit size, and he's just all in there all alone trying to act to these people who aren't there, and he just like breaks down. He's like, I just can't do this. Like,
It's really
because
depressing.
of this, like,
I'd be like,
and I mean, there's some of that technology with the Lord of the Rings, but they did it in a better way where it was like practical, like
Forced perspective.
forced perspective and stuff,
like
where you
that,
could still be interacting with the other actor. I mean, some shots were done where, like Elijah Wood was on a blue screen set and Ian McKellen wasn't there, but I don't know.
There was a lot less of that.
There was a lot less of that.
There was a lot more practical tricks, like everybody standing on a board or something like on a box. In that one shot where you can't see all their feet when the Fellowship is
the hobbits are all on their knees.
They're just literally on their knees.
Yeah.
It's way more creative.
And it honestly, it looks better.
Yeah, it looks better.
Oh,
It looks better than CGIing everything.
CGI.
I don't think we're at the
lazy
point.
to just do CGI.
Right, yeah. I don't think we're at the point where CGI can look as good. I'm not sure if we'll ever get there.
That being said, there are a lot of things that are CGI that you don't realize are CGI.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like
Backgrounds and backdrops.
background stuff are. You'd be surprised at how much stuff is actually CGI in movies. In terms of like characters and stuff, I don't think we're there yet. I think we're close, but
Did you guys know that in Rogue One, Grand Moff Tarkin was actually CG?
Gosh dang it.
you know that Jyn Erso was also CG?
What?
Huh?
But Baby Yoda, practical effect.
Like, could you imagine if they had Baby Yoda as a CGI thing?
Yeah, it would look like Yoda. It would look like Yoda from Episode 1.
It would not.
Yoda from Episode 2.
You would not have that connection at all.
No.
With
I don't
that
think
character.
you would. Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think for the actors on set, they wouldn't have that same effect. It was just like a plush green, like all like green screen little thing.
How could Bill Burr say, "What the heck is this thing?" Or something?
Yeah. Anyway, practical is always better
Always.
if you can do it. Dave, do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks. We started playing a fun video game a couple days ago.
Oh yeah,
The
It's
free
so
one,
much
the
fun.
free one of the month, Fall Guys.
Free PlayStation Network Game of the Month.
Yep. PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus.
It's a phenomenon too. There's like
Do-do-do-do.
there was 1.5 million new accounts in like the first couple days of its launch.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all
So-
children?
Probably,
I think
probably,
I'll, like,
probably a big
Watching
amount.
by based on how bad some people are at the game.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
some of them are.
I saw a Twitter post. I was like, "Yeah, my 4-year-old really enjoys it, but he doesn't actually know if he's eliminated sometimes, and he just keeps playing." Like,
Can someone explain the game for those who aren't aware of it?
It's basically like if you were to play like the Wipeout TV show.
That's an excellent way to describe it.
It's 60 like colorful
Combatants?
animated jelly bean looking characters.
With really useless arms.
Really useless arms.
hold them out awkwardly in front of them. Like
yeah, the only controls you have are basically the left stick to move, X to jump, square to dive, and then the right trigger you can somewhat grab people, but it doesn't really work.
Never works.
It doesn't really work. And they've got like 20.
Unless when someone is trying to grab your tail, then it works.
Then it works.
Yeah. And there's just an assortment of like 25 different little mini games that range from like team events to
a lot of them
like
are like
races,
obstacle courses and
or survival type things where like
yeah.
a spinning arm keeps going around a circle and you have to kind of jump to avoid it. And it basically starts out with 60 players.
Mm-hmm.
And then each round it eliminates typically about like 10 to 15 players.
Yeah.
What's supposed to happen is that it eliminates 15 players around ish, and then you get down to maybe like 7 or 8, maybe sometimes even 10 or 12 people, and you go into a final game in which you play for one person with all the crown, the victory. And that's normally how the game goes, except there's one mini game that's called Slime Climb.
Slime Climb, only the real ones.
Where you can get it where there's like 40-ish people left. And there's only 4 survivors. I've played it before. It's that hard and that difficult.
Explain Slime Climb.
So a slime climb is a mountain basically that you have to climb of obstacle courses, and there's this constant rising pink lava basically.
Slime.
Where
The slime?
It's slime. And it constantly rises, but it rises a little too fast sometimes. And you can't even complete, like if you mess up too many times, you can't even complete a run because it's like, oh, you're at the beginning of the run, you have to get through the obstacle to climb up the mountain further. And sometimes the slime will climb too fast where you're in the middle of the obstacle and you'll die just immediately.
And I want to point out with that course in particular, the course itself is difficult, but the main part that's hard is the fact that there's like 40 other morons like slamming
right, they're like
pushing you over the
like
edge.
climbing over you, like pushing you.
They
There's no
won't
logic.
wait.
There's no patience.
They won't
You have to
wait. They won't wait for like the correct there's these things that push out, like you have a lane that you're supposed to go down, and from the wall from the side it'll push out to a ledge.
It's like a bunch of puppies running after a piece of bacon. Like,
right,
just like-
exactly. And people just go. Like no matter where
they
like
don't care.
they should wait or they should go right now. They'll just like straight up go, and that messes with your character.
Yeah,
right.
you
It
get
pushes
knocked
your
over
character
really
around, knocks them over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much fun though.
It's a lot of fun. Dave, do you like the game?
Yeah, I haven't played it as much as you guys have, but it's a really derpy fun game. Brianna's even played it a couple times.
Describe it.
Brianna's played it a couple times, and all it does is make her laugh. So it's a good game.
Even when you play it, I can hear your wife laughing in the background.
It's a good feel-good game. It's not that
I take it
competitive. It's not that hard, but it's a struggle to win.
Battle Royale version
But it's kind of fun. Isn't that what it is basically though? It's just
Basically,
a battle royale game.
Battle Royale with levels.
I think the best part is that it's free for all, like for PS Plus. So like for a majority of players on PlayStation, a vast majority of players on PlayStation, the game's just free to download and free to play.
And
they're going to make
$60 game.
all their money. They're going to make all their money back on microtransactions in the PC version as well. So
Did it come to Xbox?
Not free. No, it's not on Xbox right now.
Suckers.
I think it'd be a perfect fit for the Nintendo Switch.
No, screw 'em.
It looks like a Nintendo game.
Yeah, it looks like a Nintendo kind of game, and I know it'd be huge there because you can play it on the go, like if you have internet on the go. So
Like it looks like a cousin to Splatoon or something.
yeah. Very vibrant, very kid-like, lots of energy, high energy.
Right.
I wish it was made by Naughty Dog. Crap.
Yeah.
Just run it. It's all the fast characters.
Yeah.
Holy.
You watch Slime Climb 5 people fall.
Kill that man, Joel.
It's like the best line.
Oh gosh. I started watching the Umbrella Academy season 2.
Yay!
Have you guys watched? We've all watched season 1, right?
Yeah, I've seen season 1.
I haven't seen season 1.
Will doesn't watch TV, which
I
is
don't watch
weird.
TV
Will
as
loves
much.
good stories, but he doesn't watch TV shows.
That's
It's very
weird.
upsetting.
That's really
Very
weird.
upsetting. Yeah, I want to watch more TV shows. I really do.
Why don't you?
Because usually my motivation is at a low to start a new TV show.
It's so
hard
easy.
You need
It's
like the
hard to
lowest amount of motivation. to start a
It's hard
TV show.
for me. It's hard to pick a TV show and stick with and
Umbrella
like, run
Academy.
with it.
Pick it.
And that's probably what I'll do next.
Yep.
Or Hannibal. Watch Hannibal.
Because I might watch it.
Yeah, you started Hannibal, Will. So
I really liked it.
That show's horrifying.
plus the main character's name is Will, so it's right there, huge connection.
Yeah, I really feel like Will a lot of the times.
Oh.
Oh no,
Probably shouldn't say that.
Oh no.
Kenny.
Oh no. Yeah, that was a really big mistake on my part.
You shouldn't claim to identify with a character before you know what they do.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I feel like I'm a Negan, you know?
He's got a really cool bag.
Oh! It's disgusting. Oh, gosh. But anyway, yeah. Umbrella Academy Season 2.
Have you watched it all?
I'm like halfway through.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have 3 or 4 episodes left.
Is there 10?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, I think I'm on episode 5.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really good. Yeah.
So good.
It's very stylized, too.
Yep.
And it does it really well. It's not like too over the top or anything, but
Number 5 is...
he's such a good character.
Yeah, he's so
and
awesome.
he's played really well by the actor. I don't remember the actor's name, but I think I said before, like, if they ever did like a live action Robin,
He's the kid, right? Number 5.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like he should probably play Robin. I think he would be a good Robin.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's a good
Great
TV
show.
show. If you guys haven't watched it yet, you should check it out.
Yeah. Will.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, you have Netflix, Will.
Yes, I do. I have Netflix. I'm looking forward to watching things on Netflix.
Like the Umbrella Academy.
Like
Yeah.
the Umbrella Academy and Hannibal.
And Hannibal and Mad Men and Breaking Bad and
Yeah,
all these other great shows.
totally.
You're not
I mean,
gonna watch
Will's thing is stories.
Yeah.
He's
But he loves playing video games.
a
Video
good
games like
story.
typically don't have good
The
stories.
most important thing is the characters. and,
Oh, man.
and yeah, TV. Yeah, we're in the golden age of television shows, Will. And if
Yeah.
you want good characters, oh my goodness, there's some stuff to pick from.
Yeah.
Have you watched John Wick yet?
Gosh, man.
Okay,
Any other
I feel like we
subjects
talked about this
today?
enough. Can you guys just can't you just watch it with him? Just be like,
I
okay,
will
Will.
gladly watch it with. It's hard to.
John Wick?
Yeah, just watch it with Will.
Hard to watch it.
What are
by
you doing later
myself.
today?
Nothing.
We're watching John Wick today.
Okay.
I might have it. It might
Will looks so bummed.
She's like, oh no.
It's over.
I mean, I'm busy.
Yeah. It's family day today.
Kate's coming over and
I don't have enough motivation to watch the movie.
homework and
I just, to be honest, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, the premise is not something that I am super interested in me.
You
So
gotta
I
watch
don't
the
have
movie though
motivation.
to make.
I want to watch the.
Yeah.
I want to watch the movie to kind of give.
Do you want to watch the movie?
I do. I really do. But it's
You've
hard
had
to find.
all 3
It's
movies
hard.
for like
it's
5 months now.
if I'm going to play something I'm really interested in playing, or if I'm going to watch something I'm really interested in watching, or I have John Wick, which is not probably going to be my cup of tea from the premise.
It's pretty good.
It's
though.
so good.
I'm just going to be honest. Like, it's hard to find the motivation to watch John Wick over watching or playing something else that I already want to do.
I understand where Will's coming from. I understand that.
I just
You have a
wanna play
hierarchy of
time that I
things
wanna
you
play
want to
Divinity
consume.
Original Sin 2.
It's funny you brought up Divinity, Landon.
Gosh, dang.
No.
I tried to play the game. I played the game for probably 15, 20 hours. Not a good game.
You know, just like D&D, I don't want to talk about Divinity with you. I don't want to hear what you have to say.
There are certain
Because-
subjects that have to be blacklisted with Landon because his opinions are so bad.
Oops. Last of Us 2.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't going to bring it
It's
up.
a 10 out of 10, baby. It's a masterpiece.
Oh my goodness.
It's so good.
Anyway, John Wick.
I
later
own
today.
the first 2 movies. So
Okay.
I have all 3 of them with me.
we're right here. You don't even have to leave. You just turn the film on and watch it.
Well, I'm kind of hungry, so I should probably go.
We could go get food.
Yeah, we could go.
All these problems you're having are being solved immediately.
I have.
We got chicken strips here.
I got Corona again.
Corona 2?
Well,
Corona
if you have it,
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Boogaloo?
Too late. Mick,
Bugaloo?
It's not Boogaloo.
It's
Boogaloo.
Boogaloo, but Bugaloo works with the coronavirus. It's just
Oh, gotcha. I always thought it was Bugaloo. I always pronounced it Boogaloo, not Boogaloo.
How often are you saying the word, though? I always pronounce it.
I never say Bugaloo or Boogaloo.
funny. I can tell.
Mm.
Boogaloo.
Okay.
Man, this podcast really deteriorated.
No.
Like, we were talking about
No.
some serious stuff. Like,
John Wick's very serious.
oh, really?
Yeah. Good series.
Yeah.
I've been having a problem for the past 4 days.
Oh no. No. Mick.
I went swimming 4 days ago, and
No.
what are you guys thinking?
I don't know.
I don't know. You're
I'm
prefacing
there.
it really weirdly.
I've had water stuck in my ear.
Oh, thank goodness.
Gotcha.
That was
shrinkage.
shrinkage, Jerry.
Yeah, I've had water stuck in my ear for the past 4 days, and it's not coming out.
I hate
Like
that.
if I ignore it, like I can be fine. But as soon as I like turn my head a weird way, I have that feeling of just like, like you could feel it. Like, oh my gosh! And I've tried like I looked up like ways to get water out of your ear. Like one of the ways is like you grab your earlobe and you know
Can you just dunk your head in rice?
put your head to the shove rice in your ear.
And then it expands and blows your eardrum out.
You lean your head to the side, you grab your earlobe, and you kind of wiggle your earlobe and like move your jaw, and that's supposed to help. Didn't work for me. Another way is to just, keep your head,
Snap your
keep your head the way that, to the side, and then eventually it'll come out. That hasn't worked. The other way is to get a hair dryer and blow it in your ear and dry out the water. That didn't work either.
Can someone just use a straw and suck it out?
Oh my
That
gosh.
sound.
I think I'm getting it. Dude,
all of my
I
Is that gray matter?
was about to talk about that.
my entire appetite just went out the window.
See, Will, now you're not hungry.
yeah, John Wick.
Now I can watch John Wick.
I actually have one of those. I don't know if you've seen them. It's like those pimple vacuum cleaner things.
Oh
Where you
yeah.
put it on your face and it goes like, and it sucks out like blackheads and whiteheads.
Is that real?
Yeah, and it works
I
really well.
want one.
But I thought about like, oh, maybe I can shove that in my ear. And I was
No.
like just about to do it, and I was like, wait a minute, what if I like stuck in my like eardrum or something, and I like pull out like in the innards of my ear? So I didn't do that. I was too scared to do that. Oh, push it back in, just put it back.
Show up to the ear doctor, like they're like, oh my god, what have you done?
Just my eardrums hanging out of my ear.
Oh.
You know how much pain that you'd be in?
You'd probably be deaf.
You'd be hearing so much at the
Whoa, I can angle my.
Be like an animated like mouth in like a Disney movie where it can like move around.
Awooga!
Like the xenomorph opens his mouth and another mouth comes out. Like it's a
Like,
mini
makes that
ear
weird
that
hissing
comes out of your
noise.
ear.
Yeah.
I love xenomorphs. They're so cool.
You love them?
Anyway,
They're so cool looking.
So I've been really struggling with this for the past 4 days.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need to put more water in there.
Like put water in the opposite ear to balance.
I
it
thought
out.
about like getting like some blowgun and like putting it in the opposite ear and blowing it out.
That's not going
Blowing
to
it
work.
out the other ear. It was a joke that I don't have a brain, Will. Okay.
I don't get it.
Maybe we should do this
Well,
to Will.
every human has a brain.
The elephant brought its own pears, Will.
Oh my gosh.
I might end up going to the doctor and just getting my ears flushed.
Mm.
Can't you get your ears like? Do they make something where you can get your ears flushed like by yourself, like a?
I think you can have
'Cause I
like
know-
solution where you have like a syringe.
You probably don't want to do it by yourself.
Have Carter do it.
I know I saw on TV a really bad commercial about something you stick up your nose and the water just shoots into it.
Oh, I think I've
Like a
seen
neti pot.
Yeah, or something.
But for your
Yeah, be
ears?
careful with the
Freak
neti
me
pots
out.
though.
Yeah, those freak me out.
Well, if you don't use the right type of water, there's little amoebas that are in water that can get into your brain and just like
god.
start eating your brain from the inside.
What
So you
the-
need to use
yeah,
the-
I'm never doing
you
that.
need to use the right type of water, otherwise you could
salt water.
die from it. I mean, that would
Wait,
probably.
so what is that? Wait, it shoots the water up in your brain?
Well, a neti pot. So you pour it in one nostril and it goes through your sinuses and comes out the other nostril, and it's supposed to feel really nice, like just clearing out your nasal passage. But if you use the wrong type of water, there's like a little amoeba or something that can get lodged up in there and eventually just like start eating its way through you.
I think
Another
you probably
thing
don't need to
being
worry too much about that
paranoid.
unless you actually have bad water.
That's what I said.
But
You
I
said
don't
you
think
have
that
to
water
use
is very
like
common.
water.
I think
I think
makes
that's
sense that we're all gonna die from amoebas in our brain. That's what Landon heard.
I think that's
So,
kind of an
you should
irrational
never-
fear.
You should never swim
With a
again.
city with
I
an
probably
aquifer.
won't swim. Yeah, that's enough to keep me out of the
It's
water.
either
I already hate
amoeba
water.
eating your brain or water gets stuck in your ear.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the one that's in lakes in the south?
Swims up your pee hole.
Is that the one you're? No.
no?
Oh gosh.
Have we talked about that?
Oh no.
No, we
this-
have not talked.
I think there's only like one case of this happening.
Yeah,
but
it's
there
not
was-
real. It's not real. It's
Oh, it could be.
It's this little barbed fish that like swam up into some guy's urethra.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
When he was peeing in-
there's an episode of Venture Bros. There's an episode of Venture Bros that kind of that lampoons that.
I need to watch that show.
Yeah, it's funny.
Ugh.
Anyway,
I'm so paranoid of things killing me.
You're
Basically,
paranoid
don't-
of the milk in your fridge.
don't
like-
ever leave your apartment ever.
Can you
Yeah.
use milk with a neti pot? Like, is that safe?
Oh,
Dude, I'd love that probably. Like, milk gang.
looks like as long as it's whole milk. You probably just do that straight from the udder. Just shove the udder up your nose.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, okay.
Waiting for a blast.
Got a blast.
3, 2, 1.
Look, goes.
Well,
On that
Me at home,
Yeah.
guys.
note,
Dave, did you prepare any topics?
no, just stuff we already talked about.
Okay. Landon, you have anything else you want to talk about?
Feeling fresh, guys. I'm eating healthier. Trying to get my blood pressure down. Just trying to stay healthy out there. That's all I got.
Yeah, you ate one baby carrot.
Did you not see the picture I shared in our chat with I made mixed vegetables with a steak?
I did see. See, the thing was, I was confused if you actually even knew those were carrots, because you would talk about how gross carrots were, and then your next picture was this picture of mixed veggies with carrots. And
Carrots are
my first
fine if
thought,
they're cooked.
my first
They're
thought
cooked.
was, does he even know those are carrots? That's
Yeah, I
how
knew they were
little
carrots.
I thought of Landon and his eating of vegetables.
I just don't want to eat a raw carrot. It's like a water stick. If it's like cooked, I like.
Water stick.
Yeah, it's a
No, a
flavor.
water stick is celery.
Yeah, it's celery.
Carrot is not a water stick.
It
Freaking
tasted
love
like
celery.
nothing. Carrots are trash. They're trash. Unless
No,
they're
you don't
cooked with other
deserve the
vegetables.
carrots. You should just give them to Mick, and Mick can take them home, because we know you're not going to eat them unless you already threw them away.
Nick said you can't eat carrots.
I'll eat 3 and then I'll want to throw up. Did you ever figure out what was wrong with me, by the way? Apparently, when I eat like 3 or more raw carrots, I want to throw up.
It's your body rejecting filth.
It's like there's no sugar in. Oh no!
What I read that it's most likely irritable bowel syndrome, right? Is that what it was? Something like that?
is that where your bowels explode?
No, no.
if you use a
Basically,
neti pot
The amoeba will crawl through your bowels.
up your bum,
No.
a milk enema.
I've-
So
I have irritable
Stop.
bowel syndrome.
well, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying you might.
Oh, no.
You can look into it.
You could go to the doctor.
Nah.
Landon needs to go to the doctor. You guys can go
mean-
together.
I scheduled to get a physical. So
They're gonna touch you.
I might.
You should practice coughing.
I have to wait until October. I have to wait till October though to go. So I might die of my high blood pressure before then.
No, you don't die that quickly from. high
Honestly,
blood
there's some
pressure. It
pretty
takes
practical
decades
ways.
to die from high blood pressure.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't need to worry. I'll cancel my.
No, but
appointment.
it causes damage. It causes damage over time. That's not good.
No, okay.
There are plenty of practical ways to reduce your blood pressure right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you can.
A lot of alcohol consumption, more coffee,
No.
more red meat.
Lots and lots and lots of sodium. No
Yeah.
exercise.
Drain
I
your
did-
blood
okay.
from your body.
I did check though back in. 'Cause I had to go to urgent care back in February because I cut my head open, and back then my blood pressure was like perfect. So I don't know if it was just temporarily raised.
Perfect. It's a really precise word. But
Well, it was.
That's what perfect means.
It was like 126 over 69 back in February, and like end of February, start of March. So would it really go up that much in a couple months, like permanently, to where it was?
It can, yeah.
Hear the concern
Yeah,
in
it
your
can.
voice.
Dude, shut up. Screw you. You're trying to force
Just-
me left
just
wing
ask
politics.
You asked. I was just answering.
I'll come around.
How can it go up that fast though? If it's supposed to be a gradual climb.
Your blood
to
pressure
death?
can fluctuate in a given day. It's where it averages out that's the issue.
Well,
You
so-
probably had a spike at that time, but with how high that spike was, it's probably good to get another check to see
That's what
how
wrong,
accurate was this reading, and is this something I need to try to work on.
But now if I go in, I'm going to be nervous when they take my blood pressure. It'll be higher because I'll be like, oh man, I hope it's not high. And like,
I don't think that's gonna.
Well,
affect-
it's just like depression. Just don't be nervous, and then it'll be fixed.
Yeah, don't be depressed.
left wing politics.
That's like
What does that have to do with politics?
I'm kidding. Communist.
Okay.
No, Dave, there's a great book that you should read. I think it's called Animal Farm
Everybody poops.
or something like that.
Animal Farm. I watched the cartoon of Animal Farm. When
Dude,
I was
it was
way too young.
terrifying.
It was horrifying.
Is that the sequel to Pet Cemetery?
No.
No.
Animal Farm, is that
Made into a cartoon.
Pete, what's his name? Vonnegut? Or is that-
Orwell.
George Orwell.
It's Orwell.
Orwell.
Yeah, George Orwell.
It's Orwell, Dave.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know what you're
Slaughterhouse 5, maybe? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
thinking. Saw 4?
What's Slaughterhouse 5?
I'm thinking of Slaughterhouse 5. That's by Kurt Vonnegut.
What's that?
What's Slaughterhouse
that about?
5?
That sounds like a fun book.
It's a dark comedy satire science fiction book.
Ooh,
Wow, that's like a
sounds like a yummy
triple combo, yeah.
Yummy.
Dark satire, science fiction, like that's got a lot of things.
Great
going for it.
title.
Is there Slaughterhouse 4?
That's what I thought. I was like, oh, Saw 4.
So is it not the fifth book or something?
No, it's just the name of the book. It's not.
Well, that can get
But
confusing.
why name it Slaughterhouse
Everyone's like,
5?
I've searched everywhere for the first Slaughterhouse book, and I've never found it.
Well,
somebody help me.
Why name it Slaughterhouse 5? If you're not
I'm
gonna
sure it
have
has something to
4
do with the
between-
book, probably.
No,
Like,
Nothing to do with it.
No.
Nothing to do with the book.
I don't
So
know
is
why.
the main character like a pig or something?
I don't know anything about the book. I was
I thought you read-
guessing.
I'm looking it up.
No, I was guessing the
Oh.
name. Or I was guessing the
Well, it'd be
author,
like a
but what I
really
was thinking of was
unfamily
Slaughterhouse
friendly
5, not whatever, not what.
How to be a
what you're talking about.
It's like the Three Little Pigs, but like a dark comedy version of it.
afraid of the big bad wolf? Big bad wolf. Big bad wolf.
The title is Slaughterhouse 5. The title is Slaughterhouse 5 or The
Children's Crusade.
A Duty Dance with Death.
That sounds really cheerful.
Sounds like a little too much for me.
That sounds like a book that you'd have to read in high school.
Yeah.
Why are all the books that you were forced to read in high school just super depressing?
I think
I think it's to open your mind.
It's
It's to
depressing.
kind of show you things that you haven't experienced before.
Things Fall Apart. That's a
Gosh,
tough book to
that
read.
book was horrible.
What book are you talking about?
Things Fall
Things
Apart.
fall apart.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
The main premise of the book is that things fall apart.
Hmm.
Yep.
But I think my favorite book to read that I read as a high schooler was probably Lord of the Flies.
I like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, that was also super depressing though.
I was
It was
told that
really interesting.
like Piggy with his glasses.
Don't they push a boulder?
They do a lot of
Spoilers.
terrible stuff in that
Spoilers.
book.
I've never read it. I just heard people talk about it because I wasn't allowed to read it.
We're allowed to read it. What do you mean? Why not?
Also, when I was younger, I had when I was like way too young to be told this by a person, like they were like, "Yeah, you'd be just like those kids. You'd probably be eating people." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Thanks, like, thanks for telling me that."
Yeah, Landon kind of does remind me of who's the bad kid in Lord of
Jack,
the
I
Flies?
think, right? Jack? Was that his name?
I think so.
Why
I
would
think
you
it's
say
Jack.
that to me?
Because he was kind of like a skinny sort of, kind of just like a little,
I'm not skinny.
like a little rat kid
My
kind of.
BMI, I'm technically just overweight. I'm actually overweight on the BMI scale, so don't mislabel me. I'm like 0.2
25.2.
or whatever. Yeah, 20. Yeah, 'cause
Okay, let's get away from your health before you like have an aneurysm or something.
I'm unhealthy. Sorry, guys.
You know, just exercise.
No.
Okay.
No, I exercise
We
for
found
work.
the root
Work-
problem.
At work, I exercise. I walk a lot.
Didn't you also go to a gym for a while?
Yeah, here at the apartment.
Well,
Haven't done that in a while.
Well, it's closed, I think.
I bought an exercise game.
Oh my gosh, you won't shut up
Dude,
about your
no,
stupid
it's
exercise.
awesome. It's called Ring Fit Adventure.
Ring Fit Adventures.
Is it on the Switch?
Yes, it's on the Switch, and you put like one controller in like this.
Oh, didn't you say it was kind of the spiritual successor to
Wii Fit? Yeah,
Fit?
I played it the
Yeah.
past 2 days. And it's fantastic. It's an RPG, but like every attack is a workout. Like
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wait, what's the name of the game?
It's called Ring Fit Adventure.
Dave's like,
Ring Fit Adventure. Well, now what I'm getting next.
Honestly, any of those like dancing games, like those are actually a really good workout if you just
yeah.
play Just Dance for like 2 hours a day or something.
And you make sure you do the feet movements too. That's
Oh
the
yeah,
main
gotta do a
thing.
few moves.
A lot
body.
of what I see at Just Dance is just
People sitting
arm.
down.
People sitting on the arm. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's
It's like the Wii Sports when you're bowling and you just do like a little flick of your wrist sitting down in a recliner and you
and
get
it's
a
a
strike
perfect
every
strike.
time. I'm working on my bowling technique.
Flick. Oh gosh, talk about the golden age of sports games
Yeah, long time ago.
in a galaxy far, far away.
Slaughterhouse-5 was banned in Michigan for a certain amount of time
That's why Dave's never read it.
for being depraved, immoral, psychotic, vulgar, and anti-Christian. Burned by the Drake County, North Dakota School Board, recently removed from school curricula and libraries in Republic, Missouri. I don't know when this happened, but
Probably in the 50s.
2005.
I'm trying to find a quick synopsis, what would it be called, the premise, or what would the back cover, right? Like what you would read.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to read spoilers. Slaughterhouse-5. What would it be, premise? What do I?
Is there a reason you're doing this right now?
No, there's no reason.
This was Landon's topic.
Yeah.
My topic is something about a book I just heard about right now.
Yeah, not even the actual
Right.
thing, but researching the thing.
I want to research it. It's live research.
That's exciting.
Live.
Next episode, we should all make our trivia quizzes for the podcast. We don't do them; we make them.
Oh,
On the
Just
podcast?
a lot of silence and being like, "Oh, I need 2 more questions."
all you're gonna hear is this.
Would this be a cheap question? Like,
All you're gonna hear is this. A. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Let's not do that.
2
2
hours
hours
was a good idea.
Thanks, Will. Will
Yeah.
always has my back.
Suck up.
Oh,
Well,
Okay. Well, anybody else have anything to talk about?
nope.
Slaughterhouse-5.
Yeah. Homework of the
Premise.
week. Read Slaughterhouse-5.
Summary.
I would recommend starting with Slaughterhouse-1 and working your way up to 5.
You can
but
skip 3 though.
Skip 3.
Three's stupid.
3's terrible. It was a different author. It was weird. Like,
It's an alternate
Wait, what's the
timeline.
chronological order, though? Chronological order goes 4, 2, 3, 1, 5, right?
Yeah.
Dave, don't be silly.
people were waiting for 5, like 1, and then it keeps just going back in time for some reason. Like,
The author promised to write 6, be done with 6 on like June 2020 or something, and it passed, and it's not
Yeah, it's
written
not
yet.
here.
So
it's
he
almost
said-
like
he said
he's
if-
never going to finish
he said
the
if
series.
it's not finished, it's not finished by this date, we can like overthrow him or something.
Yeah,
I think he tweeted that out, right?
Yeah, it's been 10 years since the last book came out. The HBO show of the adaptation the last couple of seasons.
The last season was terrible.
I wonder if he's rewriting the ending after the
No, he's just going to skip Slaughterhouse 6 and go straight to Slaughterhouse 7.
Oh, okay.
ah.
And what an interesting way to tell a story, leaving this.
I'm sure if there's anyone that's actually listening to this show that has read Slaughterhouse 5, they probably think we're a bunch of idiots.
Well, it's
Nobody
all
from Michigan, though.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You read it there. You get put in jail.
Anyway, on that jail note, let's wrap it up. Sound good?
Oh, the live long day.
All right. That's our new outro song.
Oh, no.
Let's just end it here.
Okay, well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Something. Find us on something.
We'll be back next week, and we'll probably have another trivia extraordinaire next week. I feel like we should take a break, not do it every week because it could get a little overdone. I think.
Do you only say that because we had no trivia planned this week?
I forgot about it. So,
This
yeah.
was completely intentional, our planned hiatus.
We put it to some think tanks and smart people, and they
Spent
came
hours
they came
discussing
back
it.
with this data. So
Once
That's what
every
we're
other
going.
week.
yeah, it's a real science to figure it out.
Unless we decide we want to do it back-to-back weeks.
Unless we can decide to do it right now.
Question 1: what was the plot of Slaughterhouse 5?
If you were paying attention.
Yeah.
You still wouldn't know.
Something about an HBO show.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Is that like
Bye-bye.
Is that Toy Story 2?
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.